Hello. That's Frida. Hey, Frida. I'm trying to bring up my chat over here. Oh, I forgot to turn my sound down. Don't need that in there. I still think my light is too bright. It's the wrong kind of light when I don't have that filter over it. So I'm probably going to have to put my filter back on it. How's everybody doing this evening? Let's see, we've got Frida Cassidy, Martha Berry. Hello, ladies. How y'all doing this evening? Martha's from North Georgia. Well, welcome, Martha, from North Georgia. We're glad to have you. Frida's okay this evening. Well, that's good. I was debating on whether to go live tonight because I was so tired. I've done a lot today. I went out to Lowe's and I acquired a couple of more bags of potting soil, a raised bed garden mix that I want to put across the top of this last bed that I'm going to put out. And, I'm good, Donna. I'm just tired. I was debating whether to sing tonight or not, but I'm just too tired for that. So I said maybe tomorrow night when I'll take it kind of easy tomorrow all day and maybe feel a little bit more like I got the energy to sing tomorrow than tonight. But like I said, I went out and I bought the few things I needed for my that other raised bed greenhouse or whatever you call it. And that's all I'm buying. I'm not putting any more beds or any more buckets or totes or anything. I'm just going to concentrate on filling what I've got for this summer. How's life with Pippintine? Yeah, I noticed that the nurseries like Lowe's and Walmart, they've got tomato plants in now. They've got everything. They got zucchini, they got squash plants, they got pepper plants, they got everything. And I checked the forecast, and right on up till the 14th of March, there is no freezing nights. Get that? There's only 2 nights between now and the 14th that we'll even have temperatures below 40 at night. And that's 2 different nights it'll hit 39, which is not freezing. So I'm working on putting more of my seeds out. M to the J, I think you're the best streamer could ever see in my life. Well, thank you, M to the J. Thank you for that super chat. You're new. I don't think I've seen you in chat before. Maybe you've been a silent viewer. Is that what it is? Or have I just been missing seeing you? I was a silent viewer. Well, thank you so much for coming into the live tonight. And thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. I appreciate it so much. And I broke down and bought my very first potato vines. They're not to grow potatoes, they're just the vine. And I think I'm going to put them in a hanging basket and put it somewhere out in the garden. I don't know where. But I've never had one of those hanging baskets before either. And I looked out because the Dollar Tree still had 4 of their hanging wire baskets, but they didn't have any of the inserts to go in them. But I did buy 2 of the baskets, and I got 2 of the little hangers if I decide where I'm going to hang them at. Well, I'm so glad you came into the live tonight and let us know you've been watching. Yeah, I probably should have left them in the store because I don't need any more to take care of. But I got them. I've never had any. I said, well, they've got two that I can buy in the Dollar Tree, $1.25 a piece. So, and I got two of the hangers. Each one was $1.25 each. So, I got two hangers and two hanging baskets. And I had to get my that Coca-Cola liner thing. Home Depot was the only place I saw that had them. And a woman come in behind me to get some, and she said, this is the only place I've been able to find these inserts for the hanging baskets. And I wore my mask today, y'all, digging in the dirt. But I'm still coughing. If I could get rid of my allergies, oh man, I'd be hunky-dory. But you know me, I go digging in the dirt in the yard and it makes me sick with allergies. Yeah, M to the J, I'm fine. I've just got bad allergies. And when I work in my garden, especially digging in the dirt, it makes my allergies go crazy. Yeah, I don't treat myself very often, but I'm not sure that's a treat. It's just going to be more to have to look after and take care of, I guess. And there's Mrs. Meyer. Hello. Welcome to our chat tonight. Yeah, I thought I'd just go live and chat with y'all for a little bit. And I just realized today, this is the end of the month. The 28th, and that's it. There's no 29th or 30th of this month. The 28th is it. And there's Tamara Douglas. Hello, Tamara. M to the J saying, I wish I could go live, but but people have been saying to stop making YouTube videos. Why would they tell you to stop making videos, M to the J? What kind of videos do you make? You don't know what kind of videos you make? What are they about? What kind of videos are you making? What are they about? What do they involve with in them? They're just funny videos? Well, I don't know why they tell you not to make them. Do you get any views on them at all? Are people watching them? I mean, if people are watching them, I'd keep making them. Well, how long have you been doing the videos, M to the J? And how long did that video, how long was it published to get 286 views? About 3 months. Well, if you got 286 views on a video and you've only been posting videos for 3 months, that's pretty good. Because you have to build up your viewers. No, 286 views in 3 months' time for someone that's just starting out with videos. That's pretty good. And there's Vinny. Hey, Vinny and Paula. You can go back on some of my very first videos and people didn't know me. You know, that my videos hadn't been circulated for very long and I wasn't getting very many views either. And it was kind of discouraging. But the longer you do it, the more videos you produce, the more viewers, the more subscriber base you're going to build. I had 5 YouTube. Wow, 5 YouTube channels is too many. I try to keep everything I do on one channel. You got 5 YouTube channels. That's kind of wearing yourself thin. I'd at least keep it down to maybe 2 channels, not 5. I mean, I could break mine up to 4 or 5 channels, but I'm not going to do it because that's too much work, too much aggravation to keep up with 5 channels. I'd start out with 1 channel maybe or 2, really build my subscriber base over a year or 2, and then think about starting another channel. You don't start 5 channels all at once in the beginning. Because if you've only got 1 channel, then you can concentrate all your time producing quality videos for that 1 channel instead of spreading it around and trying to get videos for each different channel. Good evening, Janine. And you know, I forgot to mention Jackie Martinez. She said that she was in our live last night. She was listening to everything, but she could not type. She could not see well enough to type anymore. And she's got a doctor's appointment. She may need to have some kind of surgery, but they're going to try to see if they can get her to where she can at least see to read and stuff. And it's hard for her to get around. She said her glasses just don't even help anymore. So all of us need to remember Jackie Martinez in prayer. I hope she's listening tonight because I honestly forgot to mention her last night. And I'm so glad I came across her email that she sent me today, telling me about that she did listen. She just couldn't see well enough to type anything in chat. Yeah, she's going through a hard time. You know, she's the one that ran over her glasses a while back, so she couldn't see anything because she didn't have her glasses. But her glasses don't do any good anymore, so it's not going to help that she even got new glasses. So they're going to have to go a different route with it. Yeah, I hope she's watching. Maybe she's reading the chat even. Well, she can't read it. She'd have to have somebody read it to her. But Jackie, if you are listening, all the viewers, the subscribers in chat are wishing you the best. They're sending you blessings for, you know, a recovery. They're, you know, wishing that you'd get better. Because we want you back in our chat. There's Tamara. Oh, whoopee, Janine. You talked to your landlord and he said you can put out a few plants. He's probably thinking if I let her put out a few vegetable plants, I may get a couple of vegetables or a fresh tomato here now and then, or maybe a cucumber or two. I think I'm going to move my cucumbers or try them at the ends of my raised beds. I've got turnips and beets and radishes and different things growing in the bed, but I think I can put up maybe a plant at each end of the raised bed and then put a trellis that it can go up on. That way there'll be room enough for maybe the cucumber vines and my other plants underneath. I'm going to try it. I've seen other people do that and it works out great for them. So I'm going to see how it'll work out for me. I have to go to bed, so bye. I love your channel. Keep going. Well, thank you, M to the J, and I'll hope to see you maybe tomorrow night or the next time I go live. Which I know for sure I'll go live Sunday afternoon. But I may go live tomorrow night too for a little bit. It may not be this late if I go live tomorrow night. So, but yeah, if you got to go to work, you probably got a job, so you got to be somewhere tomorrow morning. You have a good night. Stay safe. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. And we'll see you next time. And thank you again for the super chat. And there's True Holiness Episcopal Church, Charlotte, 2028. Hello to you. Yeah, but I have no way to get cattle panels. I know I could buy them at the farm and ranch store, but they don't deliver. And I don't have a truck that I could go get them in. So I'm not going to fool with that. I'll just try to come up with some smaller type of a trellis to run them on. I'd like to get the PVC pipe, the small like 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch PVC pipe that they like put in one bed and then, like run it over to the next bed, and you've got that arbor like between the beds, which makes a tunnel that you can walk under and have the cucumbers grow up the sides. It's a heavy fencing, Donna. It has squares in it about that big, but it's a wire fence, kind of. And I think it's about 6 foot wide. And they come in like 10-foot pieces, lengths, or I don't remember the length of them, but it takes a pretty good sized truck to bring them home. And you can put them in one raised bed on one side, flip them over and have them in the next one, and have that like a tunnel to walk between the two beds that the vines can grow up on. And it makes a really pretty trellis. That's kind of the way I've done out here at my entranceway to my garden. I've got the clematis growing over the arbor. Well, I've got several arbors throughout that one little section there to make it look like a tunnel you're walking through. But my tomatoes and stuff don't want to seem to grow up over them. They want to grow everywhere but toward the arbor. Yeah, he had to use a ladder to pick them, Tamara. That's what I was thinking. I said, if I got my vines to go up over these arbors out here, especially my raspberry, and it started producing raspberries, I'd have to get a ladder to pick them on the top because I couldn't reach them. Looks like Amazon has them. And there's Mob. I don't remember seeing your name in here before, but welcome. I've never not had a wisteria plant, but I've always loved them. I think they're beautiful, but I've never grown one here. I have not tried to grow one here. Your sister had a beautiful wisteria growing on a trellis. And there's MT. You've seen people grow gourds. I've tried growing gourds here, but the ants eat the vine. I mean, I planted them. They came up. They were a couple inches long. I went out there the next day and just happened to look at them. And the whole vine was eaten down to a nub about that long. They just devoured the vine before I could even knew they were eating on it to where I could put any kind of insecticide or anything on it to keep them away. I bet you my pepper spray would keep them off. If twisted right, yeah, it would grow into a tree. If you twisted the limbs together. Hers went crazy and had to cut it down. Oh no. Yeah, they've got cattle panels. It looks like for fencing. Farm fence 4 feet by 164 feet for $109. I definitely don't need that much. Or you can get a 36-inch by 25 foot with 3-inch holes for $31.99. Now that sounds like something I might could handle. But I don't know if the mesh, the wire would be strong enough. Because I was thinking about even trestling honeydew melons and watermelons, the small ones. Because I've seen a lot of people run their watermelons, the small ones, the cantaloupe, the honeydew melons, cucumbers, everything on trellises. And they're 2 by 3 inch mesh. So it's a pretty good size hole, I guess. And I think Walmart had some of that. But the actual canal panels that they're talking about, they're in sections. They're like, I don't remember how wide they are, but they're pretty wide, and they're about 10 foot long. They're long enough that you can, or maybe even longer than 10 feet, I don't know. And it's a heavy, stiff wire. When you curve it over and stake it down, a lot of people drive either rebar or T-post or whatever they call them in the ground to fasten them to hold them in place. And then see, it doesn't bend or anything. The wire is heavy enough that it doesn't bend. Yeah, those are pretty expensive, the ones I'm talking about. And I don't know if I could do anything with one like that. It's kind of big. And there's Texas Rebo. Our backyard is overrun by canis and banana trees. I'm removing them with Sawzall. Oh no! And I'm trying to get my banana trees to grow. They started coming back up when it got so warm. I had a shoot that tall come up out of the ground, pretty and green, and then we had another freeze, and of course that died back. I'm hoping that the roots are okay, so it'll come back again, because I do have it in the ground. Yeah, those cattle panels are kind of expensive because they're a heavier gauge wire. They're not like little rabbit fencing or the little chicken wire and stuff like that, which is pretty inexpensive. I think I got the rabbit wire that I made my compost bin out of. I got a roll of that and some T-post and put them down, on each corner, and then took the wire and went around and just hooked it to the T-post. That's how I made my compost pile. Well, they say rabbit manure is really good for your garden because you don't have to worry about it burning your plants. I mean, you can take it right from the rabbit cage and put it in your garden. With chicken manure, you have to be real careful because a little of that goes a long way, and if you put too much, it will burn your plants up, literally. Banana trees love rabbit manure. Well, I told everybody jokingly, I said I'll have to get me some rabbits. And then they'll multiply so much, I'll be selling rabbits, I guess, to keep the population down. Oh, Tamara, you got your pumpkin pie seeds? Well, good. Well, most of the time I do direct sow. And I've got a lot of stuff right now that I've direct sowed in my raised beds, in my new totes that I just put out. And I still got stuff in seeds in the greenhouse. And I noticed one little sprout for my eggplants. So I'm hoping to get some eggplants pretty soon. Yeah, I'm hoping to get my eggplants and some other stuff started real early to where I can have some eggplants before the end of the summer. I wonder if Dennis and Wilson will show up tonight. Wilson never did come into live last night, but Dennis did. And there's Donna Placetia. Hello. Good evening. You don't have a house window that gets a lot of sun that you could put a couple of pots there and start seeds in a window? I can't because I don't have windowsills. I don't have the sun coming in where I can put a pot. So I have to start mine out in the greenhouse. Or if you've seen my videos, you've seen my mini greenhouses. And they're just the clear white totes that you put your pots down inside of and put your seeds in. And then on an extreme cold night, you just put the lid on it and close it, lock it down. I mean, you can start a lot of seeds in those. I checked mine today. I haven't seen that anything has germinated and come up yet. I hope that freeze we had, because right after I put a bunch of the seeds in the pots and put them in the greenhouse and filled the 3 clear mini greenhouses, the totes with them, we got like a 2 or 3 night freeze. And I said, I hope it doesn't ruin my seeds that I put in those pots. But some seeds won't even germinate to amount to anything until they're in a freeze. So I'm hoping, if anything, it did them good. Maybe it'll encourage them to sprout. Well, I've got two different types of tomato seed started. They're not, like I said, they've not come up yet. And I put a couple different pepper seeds in there trying to get them to grow. So I have pepper plants. But I've got so many more different kinds of peppers and so many more different types of tomatoes that I want to start till I just haven't gotten them all done yet. Wind chill tonight is 7 degrees. Well, it's going to be like in the high 50s here tonight. It was 80, almost 85 degrees here today. So it's pretty warm. Your fig tree, I'd love to have a fig tree. Those are expensive little trees. I priced them in some of the nurseries, and I think about the cheapest one I found was like $25, $25.99 or higher. And I said, that's a bit for me to spend when I don't know if I'm going to kill it or not. I don't know if it'll survive. But one of these days I'll give in and I'll try one. When I get everything else in the garden I want, I'll probably try a fig tree. Hello, True Holiness Apostle Church. I love figs. My grandmother used to have a fig tree, and we loved going up there getting figs off of her tree. And her house is gone. It just fell down. It was so old. And they're gone. They died. And the lot is, the land is still there. The spot where the house is still there. Nobody's ever built on it or done anything to it. So I know the fig trees are still there, still producing figs. And she had 3 or 4 apple trees, like in one corner and one side of her yard, that we loved to get those apples. They were the yellow apples. And we'd get them and build fires out there under the tree and get the coals hot and wrap the apples up in aluminum foil and put them in the fire and bake them. They were so good when I was a kid doing that. Well, I could do that. I know that's why my cedar tree out here that's in the middle of my rock garden died, because I used to have my washing machine water draining out there to keep it watered, and it grew beautiful until then. But I had one of my neighbors, my Karen, complain about it a little bit. So I wasn't thinking. I just moved the line and I moved it back toward where my garden is, my garden in the back. But I could possibly run it to where I could plant a fig tree back there somewhere. But that's why my trees died now. So I lost my shade tree in the side of my yard. You'd love to have some pear trees. Oh, I would too, but I'm afraid of the bugs. I'm afraid of having too many fruit-bearing trees because I don't know how to take care of them. I know bugs get into your trees and devour your fruit, and I said I don't know how to do all that. Find a friend with a fig tree and ask for a cutting to sprout. No, I haven't heard anything from them anymore. And the builders weren't over there working on the lot today. They weren't over here at the house they've already built to do anything. I don't know what else they're going to do over there. They were laying blocks of grass this past week in the front and the back. They've already put in the concrete driveway. And I forgot, I told y'all I was going to keep you updated on it, and I forgot to walk over there and video any of the driveway and stuff and show you. I'll do that next time I do a video outside. I just tell my fig tree, you're on your own. Well, it'd probably be pretty much on its own if I planted it here. Like my poor banana trees. I've never grown banana trees before, but they're trying to live. By gosh, They're trying hard to survive here. I just hope they have survived and they'll put out new sprouts since it's not freezing anymore, and it'll survive this summer heat this year. Just have to wait and see. Oh, really, MT? I hate to hear you. Oh, gutter pipe would work. Yes, you can root root them too. I've done it a few times with a pot put over a chute that comes up. Oh, wow. Well, I was afraid my banana tree was over the property line, but since I've heard that the surveyor decided he put the line too close on my lot, it should have been like a foot or more further back. If that's the case, my banana tree's safe. Storms. You guys have bad. Oh, really? We got bad weather coming this way? I'm doing great, Edith. I hope you are too. Well, I know, our rainy season hasn't started yet. We should start getting a little bit of rain in about a week for, I think, one day maybe. You think Monday? Let's see what the forecast is. If I knew how to send you a start without killing it, I would send it to you. Well, that's how I started my tree collards. I ordered cuttings. I think it was from Gurney's Nursery online, and they came in pieces about that long, not quite, maybe about 10-inch cuttings, and they were about the size of my thumb. And they were wrapped like in paper, damp paper, and then wrapped in plastic to keep them from drying out. And all of them, I think there was 4 of them, and all of them rooted but one. I lost one of them, but I've gotten cuttings off of that one every year. Yes, I just put some soil in the pot and let it grow a few months, then ease it up at the bottom of the pot and snip it off. Voila, a new fig tree. Well, that's exactly the way I do my tree collards. I put it in a smaller pot, and well, it just depends on the pot. One or two times I just put the cutting right down in the 5-gallon bucket with potting mix and garden soil in it, and just kept it watered good, and it rooted and grew like crazy. The spider plant, our care facility, is turning brown. We don't know what happened. I don't know. I don't know if you're supposed to water. I know, I think my mom had what they called an air plant. You never had to water it. And that might be the same as the spider plant. It puts out shoots of its own, and it looks like another clump growing, just hanging there. And I think some people do call that spider plants. My mom said it was an air plant because you never have to water it. There should be enough humidity in the air that keeps it watered. And there was in North Carolina because it was real humid, and she kept it on the porch. And it grew like crazy, and it was always pretty and green. Yeah, it is fun to do stuff like that, but it takes a lot of time and patience. But these tree collard cuttings, they're not cheap. So once you get a tree collard growing, you want cuttings from it. You want to start more plants from it. And like I did, I cut 3 or well, I got 5 starts out there from cuttings that I planted today in 5-gallon buckets. And I hope it doesn't freeze on them, because we're not supposed to get freezes anymore. I'll have 5 more tree collard plants if they survive. And when I took them out of the pots, there was roots all growing around the bottom of the dirt. Even though the dirt was loose and it almost like fell apart in my hand. But I got them transplanted to the buckets out there. So if they live, I'm going to have plenty of collards this summer. Collards and cabbage. I filled the other buckets in that little round area that I had. I had cucumbers in it last year. Well, I replanted my cabbage in there this year. And it's seeds. I put seeds in each one of those buckets. So I'm hoping they sprout and I have some nice cabbage plants in there this summer. Yeah, I've got one at the entrance up here at the garden. It was higher than my head. Of course, it was sitting up in a 5-gallon bucket up on the cinder block, but it was pretty tall. And I had them out in the garden. They were getting head higher. And I think a couple of those have survived the freezes. They had roots down established well enough that I think the stalk itself has survived. You know, all the leaves and everything have died off of it. Maybe the top of the stem, the tree has died, but the bottom part of it, the main part, is still alive if we don't get many more freezes to kill it completely. And I think they'll come back. And I've got some in my buckets over here, where my perpetual spinach is. My perpetual spinach, I planted it one summer in that 5-gallon bucket on the ground. When it freezes, it kills the leaves back. But as soon as the freezes is over, the plant comes right back and produces spinach like crazy. And the perpetual spinach has big old leaves. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah, if you like greens, collards, spinach, stuff like that, a tree collard is one thing you need to plant, and perpetual spinach is another thing you need to plant. And walking stick kale, that stuff, it will grow, and one tree will provide you with an enormous amount of greens. And I made a short video of me transplanting those tree collard cuttings today, so I'll probably post it. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or the next day. I've got several videos that I need to post that I'm just waiting to be posted. And there's Cindy Davis Noel. How are you doing this evening, Cindy? All right, I planned on giving away some seeds tonight. I posted a video today on the best plant food you could give your plants. What was the main ingredient that I put in that plant food? There was one main ingredient that I said that the plants loved more than anything, especially rose bushes. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, MT. No, not water. It was something I put in the water, in the blender. Tamara Amelin got it. It was banana peels. If you love bananas and you eat bananas, don't ever throw your banana peelings away. Put them in your compost or chop them up and put them in a pot where a tomato plant's growing. Or do like I did in the video. Throw it in a blender. Fill the blender up with water. And if you got potato peelings or anything else, throw that in there. And just pulverize it. Turn it to liquid. That is liquid gold, just like compost tea. Only you didn't have to wait for it to compost or anything. Coffee's good too. But your rose bushes, I've got 2 out here in the front rock garden that always look puny. And the first year that I started putting banana peels to them, you could see an amazing difference in the spring when they started growing. And I've been falling down on the job. I've been throwing my banana peels in the compost, and I haven't been feeding my my 2 rose bushes out here with it. But I've got one that I call the Yellow Rose of Texas out there. And the other one is a knockout rose. So I watered both of them with that mixture that I made with my banana peeling and a few other things in the blender. I took it out there and I watered both of them in the video. But that was it, banana peels. You can just take plain banana peels, throw them in your blender, fill it with water, pulverize them, and then go water your tomato plants or your roses. It has potassium. Roses love potassium. Tomato plants love potassium. Yep, there's Patty C. Welcome, Patty. Let me write Tamara Ameling's name down so I know to send her those seeds. We got Brooklyn Marie in the house. Marcy, California girl. Hello. Uncle BB just came in. Banana cream pie. I could eat some banana cream pie right now if I had it. What are we talking about? Well, I just did a seed giveaway. I was asking what was the main ingredient I put in the plant food that I fed my rose bushes, my 2 rose bushes out here today. And Tamara got it. It was banana peels was the main ingredient I put in that blender. Well, you love banana cream pie, Marcy. Plants love it too. They love banana peels. Just throw some banana peels in your compost, or even better, like I did, throw them in a blender, fill it with water. Just turn it all to liquid and go water your roses with it. Your roses will thank you for it. I promise. Mine started growing so much better and prettier. But I've been falling down on the job. I've been neglecting them 2 rose bushes out there. So I'm starting as of today. I watered them with my banana made food. Banana peelings. Yeah, if you got rose bushes or any plants growing, tomato plants really love it. Pepper plants love it. They'll produce better peppers. They'll produce better tomatoes if you water them with banana peels. Just pulverized. Tamara's hungry for lemon meringue pie. Oh, it's been so long since I've had lemon meringue pie. And there's Wilson. Hey, Wilson. I was wondering if you were going to be here tonight. You just missed the giveaway. Well, the next time, if you ever try growing roses, Uncle BD, do like I said, take your banana peelings, throw them in the blender. It only took one banana to feed 2 rose bushes out there, because they're little rose bushes. But it makes a world of difference. They will come to life for you. They love the potassium in the banana peels. I could eat the whole pie of lemon meringue. Yeah, I probably could too. It's been so long since I've had any. Nanner pudding sounded good. I haven't had nanner pudding in a long time either. Yeah, I just started to say, if you got a dying rose bush, Patty C, when you eat your bananas, throw those peelings in a blender, chop them up, get some water in there, and go water that rose bush with it. It will thank you for it. Always wanted a tea rose bed. They love coffee grounds, but they'd rather have banana peels because of the potassium. It's seeds, Wilson. I don't know what kind of seeds. I'll have to check in my bag and see what I've got boxed or enveloped up to send. Yeah, banana peels just chopped all up in a blender like that is like giving your rose bushes medicine. It's like giving them vitamins, you know. They just all of a sudden stand up tall and start growing and say, hey, here I am. I'm growing. Tamara Ameling won. I mean, she just won. You just came in after it was over. That's what got us talking about bananas. Because that was the question. What was the main ingredient in the potion that I fixed to feed my rose bushes? No, not really. I haven't had any problem with it. And if you notice any ant problem around there, you can always make you some pepper vinegar. Spray your rose bushes with pepper vinegar. Well, I mean with pepper spray. And they don't like hot pepper, so they won't go near them. But I have not had any problem with ground up banana peels attracting ants. Yeah, yum, lemon pie. Y'all are making me want some pie. And I don't have any pie. Hot pepper. I put out a video last summer. My okra loved it. Oh my God. You know, if you've ever grown okra, you know the ants love okra too. And as soon as your plants start putting out okra, they're going to be covered with ants if you don't do something about it. So I made some pepper vinegar. I took jalapeno peppers or really hot peppers. I threw a handful of them in a pot full of water and just boiled the daylights out of it. And then I put the liquid in a gallon milk jug. And that's what I put in my sprayer when it was cooled down. My sprayer, and I sprayed my okra plants. The ants disappeared. They left my okra plants alone. And all of a sudden, my okra just started growing like crazy. Now, when it rains, you know, it's going to wash it off. You'll have to respray them. But it's not an insecticide. It's not a poison. It's not going to hurt anybody. You just might want to wash your okra off before you eat it because it might get a little spicy. And one of my viewers told me about that pepper spray, that her dad, their granddad or somebody used it on their plants. They swear by it. They spray their whole garden with it to keep bugs and ants off especially. I've got one tub of asparagus. And I actually got a handful of asparagus last summer to eat. Oh, it was so good. I had it in the ground, but it started spreading, and I was afraid it was going to get out of hand in the ground, so I put it in a tote all by itself, and it comes up every year. And I said, pretty soon I'll have a whole tote full of asparagus plants. I'll probably have to thin them out and start another tote of it. But I love them. Sometimes I'll walk by, like I did the first of the summer last year. I'll walk by the tub of asparagus and just happen to look in there, and there's a sprout sticking up. I just reach over there and break it off and eat it right there. It's so good. Oh, I didn't get to cook very much because I ate it as I went out there and saw it. You know, I'd break it off and eat it. Well, I planted okra one year in the cinder blocks that border the garden. That stuff got 12 foot tall. I had to reach up and grab the stalk and bend it over to cut the okra. I mean, I had to lay it over like that to get here to cut the okra on the top. I mean, I knew it was big okra, but I didn't expect it to get that tall. I'd never seen okra that tall before. Why can't you grow asparagus, Patty? I've never tried growing black-eyed peas. And I've never tried growing lima beans, but I bought me 3 packages of lima beans, and I'm going to fill my green stalk tower with lima beans this year because they're bush beans, and I think they'll do real well in that green stalk tower. And that's another project. I got to get out there, take the tower apart, freshen up the dirt and the soil inside, and then put it all back together and plant my seeds in it. I don't know yet, Wilson. I don't know what kind I'm going to send, just whatever kind I find that's in a package already. It's too humid. You don't think they'll grow? Well, I don't know. A couple of years was the first time I ever tried asparagus. And though you buy the little crowns and you make a little mound of dirt and you put the crown over it with the roots going down each side of the mound, and then you cover it up. And I didn't think they'd do anything, but my God, they took off and they started putting up shoots, but it was growing in grass and everything else. And I said, I can't leave it there. I said, the grass will be taken over. So I decided to dig it up and put it in the tote. That's where it's at now. Well, I've done research on the green stalk tower on what is good plants to do in there. I had peppers in there last year. I had a Brussels sprout plant growing in there, but I think I'm going to take that out because the worms get to it too bad. You never get to eat any Brussels sprouts. So I'm just going to pull that out and compost it because I think it's dead anyway. And I'm going to have nothing growing in that green stalk tower this year except lima beans. And that is unless something voluntarily comes up in there. I had a tomato plant volunteer to come up in there one year, and oh my God, it put out more tomatoes than any tomato plant in the whole garden. They're not green stalk panels. It's a pot. And it depends on what kind of dirt you've got in them. I try to keep mine with lighter potting mix and stuff so it doesn't get compact. So they're not real heavy for me. Because you got to lift them up and put them on the ground to get to the bottom one. And then you got to lift them up and stack them back up. Well, I started growing potatoes 2 summers ago. And my first harvest was pretty good. My second one was pretty good. But my sweet potatoes, I got late start with them this year or last year. So they didn't do much. I mean, when I pulled up the stalks or the vine, I found a couple of little bitty sweet potatoes on them, but they weren't big enough to do anything with. And I said, well, I should have got them in the ground earlier. Trying not to twist too much. I see the surgeon the 25th. Well, I hope everything goes great for you. I know. If you get volunteer plants to come up out of your compost or anywhere in your garden, my suggestion to you is just leave them alone. Let them grow, because the ones that come up voluntarily will do better than any other plant in your garden, because it survived and it's wanting to grow, and it's determined to grow and produce. So leave it alone and let it give you something. Going to play bingo tomorrow. Oh, okay. I know I have volunteers come up in my pots and totes every year after I plant stuff in them. I'll have pepper plants or tomato plants come up as volunteers in them every year. I love it when that happens. I had so many volunteer tomato plants come up in a tote one year, I was pulling them out, having to, spread them around the garden because there was too many to leave in one pot or one tote. My wife plants every Valentine's potatoes. Well, I got my potatoes planted. I don't know if they're going to do anything. They haven't come up yet, but they're planted. I got them in potato bags or whatever they call those things. Potato grow bags or whatever. I thought I'd try those this year. I have better luck at bingo than I do with trivia nights. Well, how do y'all play bingo in a live? Just the person that's doing the live call out numbers and you have your own cards, or what? Because I've had somebody mention to play bingo on my channel, but I wasn't sure how to do it. Well, I got white potatoes planted. I had white and yellow, red potatoes. No, I got white potatoes and red potatoes. No, I got red onions. I only planted white potatoes this year. I haven't planted any of the red ones because I didn't have any. But I had some great big baking potatoes. And they were, when I grabbed one out of the bag under the sink, it had all these great big sprouts all over it. I said, I see, you want to be planted. So I cut it all up. I pulled out another one. It was the same way, so I cut it up. I think I ended up cutting up 3 potatoes because there were nothing but sprouts. And I planted them. But they were the white baking potatoes or the white big potatoes. There weren't red ones. I love the red potatoes. I've got to get some of those, but haven't got any yet. Oh, the Egyptian onions you sent me are all coming up. Well, good deal. And this spring, they're going to walk and give you a ton of little baby onions to plant. You'll always have Egyptian onions from now on if you just take your little bulbs and plant them every time they do their walking thing. I don't know where I'm going to put all mine this year. I've got so many pots and totes of walking onions already. I don't know where I'm going to plant anymore. Bingo, B5. Well, I know, if we played bingo, you'd have to have some kind of a bingo card. So I don't know how Wilson and them played their bingo in a live. Unless each person that's in the live has their own set of bingo cards. Well, we can't do that here because these produce markets that they set up, you got to have a license to rent a spot to sell. And usually it's all business owners that are selling in those spots. They set up stands and they're not only selling merchandise, but they're advertising their business, their shop. And I don't have a business license to do that, so I can't. My daughter-in-law said that. Well, you need to go to a flea market or go to one of the produce stands where they're selling produce and sell yours. But I can't do that because I don't have a business license. I don't have a produce license to be able to sell that. And that would get me in trouble. Linda, I won. I'll take my money now. All right, Uncle BB, I'll send it right out to you. Well, I'm the way my onions are out there, I'm hoping I'm gonna have a lot of them to maybe give away for prize in the lives, or just like tonight, giving away seeds on a question about one of the videos. Yeah, if you get worse, Donna, you go to the ER. You don't suffer. You'll split it with Donna. G22. Yeah, but I'd be the one calling out the numbers, not you guys. But you'd have to have bingo cards. That's the only thing. That's the only way you could play if you had your own set of bingo cards. I mean, we could try it sometime if everybody has bingo cards. I don't have a bingo game though. I need to get a bingo game so I'd have the numbers to call out. Back in '83, I won $200. Well, we used to go to dinner on a Friday night when we lived in Indian Harbor, because at their clubhouse on Friday night, after you finished dinner, you just stayed at your table and you could buy bingo cards or buy a game to play bingo. I think it was $25. And sometimes they gave away prizes and sometimes it was cash money. And we won quite often playing bingo up there at the restaurant. Haven't done that in many, many years, though. I don't know if they still do it or not. You think the dollar store might have bingo games? Could get up a bingo game real cheap and get you some bingo cards. Yeah, I don't have bingo stuff either, Patty. But somebody, what was it? Tamara Douglas says, I think the dollar store might have them. Or maybe even Dollar Tree might. But that was the only thing. I said everybody'd have to have bingo cards to be able to play. I mean, I could call the numbers out, no problem, but you'd still have to have bingo cards to play. Be better than trivia. You getting tired of playing trivia, Wilson? Your son will be in town then only? Yeah, and there's no way to verify a winner. How am I going to know whether you actually got the numbers or not? You could call bingo and, hey, I don't know. Yahtzee would be fun. I've got a Yahtzee game, but I don't know how that would work either. You get tired of losing every week. Yeah, but sometimes you still get seeds or you still get something sent to you, whether you win or lose. Yeah, but not you. Is everybody going to be honest? You don't know if they will or not. They might want to win the prize. And hi, Snow White, stranger. Long time no see. Welcome tonight. You want Den there to hear the doctor? Den's and my son. Yeah, it's a good idea to have your son go with you. Yeah, you're always a winner. Like I said, he gets seed sent to him whether he wins or not. Used to play bingo with mom and grandma at nearby schools, all gone now. Closest place now is casino. Too many people and smoky. Yeah. There used to be a place in Fort Worth, right at the edge of Fort Worth, that played bingo on every Friday night. And I knew some ladies that went up there, and I thought a couple of times, well, I ought to go up there, but I never did. I don't even know if they do it still. They may not even play bingo there anymore, but they gave away good prizes, they said. You have three. Yeah, I had one of my subscribers, I don't remember who it was, and there's Henry. Hi there, Henry. Um, she sent me an email one time. She wanted some walking onions to plant. And she said, I'm not that far away from you. It's only like a 2-hour drive to get to Granbury. She said, I'll even come pick them up. I said, well, I would, but I don't have any. The only ones I've got are the plants that are already in my pots growing. They're not walking yet, so I don't have the seeds. And I told them that I would have seeds, the seed pods when they walked in the spring. And she said, well, that'll be too late. I need them now. I need to plant them now. So it's like, well, I don't know what to tell you to do. And I told her, I said, well, order them. I said, that's how I got my first ones. I ordered them online. It only took a day or two for them to come. I was surprised how fast they came. But yeah, I should have plenty of baby walking onions to plant come spring. Because they're an onion that's well worth growing. They live all year long. Once you plant them, they're never going to die or go away unless you just don't water them. And they produce the baby bulbs, to plant more every year. So, like I've told people, I said, once you plant them, don't pull onions up that first year to eat. You might want to cut tops to eat the greens, but let them walk first. Let them produce the baby onions to plant again. And then you can eat some of them. And then do that every year. Wait till they walk, get the seed onions to plant, and then you can eat your onions. That way you'll always have a rotation of, Egyptian walking onions growing. Lemon, no, never tried a lemon tomato. I've had some gold ones. They're kind of a yellow look, but they weren't lemon. You have 3 rose bushes? Well, I don't know if you heard anything of what I said about the banana peels, but rose bushes love banana peels. You can just chop them all up and throw them around the rose bush real close and just leave it there. Or even better, like I did in my video that I posted, throw that banana peel in a blender. Fill the blender up with water and just pulverize that peel all to pieces. And then I watered 2 rose bushes, my little rose bushes out front, with that blender full of banana food, as I call it. But yeah, rose bushes, tomato plants, pepper plants, any of that, love bananas. The banana peel has a lot of potassium in it, and they need the potassium, especially the rose bushes. Mine did. The 2 out front here did. They're not strong on the acid in a lemon tomato. Well, I kind of like my tomatoes a little acidy. I like them with a little bit of oomph, as you call it. When I get hold of a tomato slice and it's just bland, it has no taste, it has no kick, I don't want to eat it. That to me is like one that grew in a greenhouse with no taste. I want mine right out of the garden, right off the bush. And it's just a little bit acidy, which I love in my tomatoes. They're doing great. Did you see the little short that I posted this afternoon of Lucky? How he talks to me? If you'll listen real good when I'm talking to him, he'll like, you can barely hear him in the video, but you can hear him. He's like he's answering me. He's talking back to me. And little Buddy doesn't do that. But Lucky has done it ever since he's been here. I go out where he's at and he'll, and I'll start talking to him and he'll do it even more. Well, y'all don't watch it. It's only a real short, so you won't have to watch it long, and you'll hear him talking to me in it. You got to listen good or turn your volume up. And there's Country Cutie. Hello. How's Country Cutie doing tonight? I want strawberries. I want to grow strawberries. And Gurney's got them, but he's not shipping any strawberry plants until spring. And I think I can get 25 plants for like, I'm thinking $30. But I know he has good stuff. He usually, when I order any seeds or cuttings from him, they're good. And every one of these strawberry things that I bought in the stores out here, they look dead when you get them. And I've planted them anyway, like the instructions said, but they never came back. They never come to life. They never did anything. So I said, well, I want a live plant. I don't want just the bare root. I want the plant. I know, that's what I'm saying, Cindy. The store tomatoes, they have to be grown in greenhouses all the time or something because they have no taste. Oh my goodness, strawberry cheesecake with strawberry ice cream. Oh, you're making me hungry. I went so far as I bought strawberry plants from Walmart one year. I bought 5 or 6 actual plants that had little strawberries on them. And I put them in the green stalk tower. They produced those strawberries. The green ones ripened. I picked them. I kept them watered. I treated them just like all my other plants. And then they just died. Never came back. You stock up on strawberries, you flash freeze them. Well, I don't have any way to flash freeze them. I just have to freeze them. But I don't have anywhere to freeze them at now. My freezers are full. I'm still working on trying to get stuff kind of down in my freezer so I have where to put new stuff. And the strawberries here have been a little bit expensive. So I don't usually buy strawberries because they're a little bit pricey unless I can catch them on sale. A few years ago, you planted Gurney strawberry plants and they were terrible. I don't know what I'm not doing right with strawberries. I don't know. You just put them on a sheet pan in the freezer for 2 hours, then bag them in gallon bags. Well, I could do that, but I don't have any room to put a sheet pan in the freezer to freeze them on. That's my problem. I mean, I froze some of my hot peppers that way. And I've got them in baggies in the freezer, and I sometimes forget they're there to even take them out to cook them. Huh. How much are they selling them for, Cindy, at QVC? I haven't been to the QVC site in a while. It's been a long time. I mean, I planted them just by the directions, I didn't cover the top. You only supposed to put the roots in the ground, and the top of the plant is supposed to be above the ground. And I did that. I did it, went right by the instructions, but my plants did not survive. So I said, I got to come up with something different. Your dad grew beautiful berries. And my raspberry plant bush has never had raspberries. I don't know if it's because I've got it in that great big giant tote or pot. It's in a great big pot. But it'll bloom almost like it's going to have a bunch of raspberries, and then the blooms will die and it produces no berries at all. Walmart has some very nice ones right now. You think it was $24 for one plant? Y'all have to check QVC out, see what they got going. But I didn't order any from Gurney's. I was looking at them. And their best strawberries, the most popular one, and the one that grows the biggest, is the one that would cost about $29 for 25 plants. Which, if you get that many plants, I guess it's worth it. But I hate to spend that much money and they die on me, I don't know. I've got pomegranate seeds that I saved from pomegranates before, and I kept thinking I'm going to try to get them started, but I haven't put the seeds in yet to even see if they'll germinate and sprout. I need to do that because I'd love to grow a pomegranate tree. What my most are planned for my feet store? Huh? Oh, you go deep sea fishing next week? Well, bring me some fish, Wilson. Yeah, I saved some pomegranate seeds from pomegranates that I had bought to eat. And I said, one of these days I'm going to see if I can get those to germinate and sprout and actually start a pomegranate tree. But I've not done it. I've still got the seeds, but I haven't tried it. I need to do that. At least give it a try. You're mostly planning for your feed store. You also got strawberry Cheerios. I added fresh strawberries. You're making me hungry. I don't have any strawberries. I've got a couple of apples over here. I can cook me up some apple fritters. So I think I'm good on my strawberry thing. My pomegranate tree is mature and produces, but they just don't get real big. So I need water to water it more. Do you think it would be like a banana potion? I don't know. Like I said, I've never tried growing a pomegranate tree. I'd have to look it up, do some research on it, look it up on the internet, and find out what they advise you to feed pomegranate trees, what kind of plant food or what to put to them to make them grow and produce. It might take something like a banana potion. I have no idea, Cindy. It wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt to put some banana on it. Throw it in the blender and pulverize it and water your pomegranate tree with it. Maybe the potassium is what the pomegranate tree needs. I don't know. I don't think it would hurt it at all. I didn't realize this was a short month. I kept forgetting that this month only had 28 days. I said, oh, wow, the month's gone. Tomorrow's the 1st of March. Yeah, since you're talking about it, Cindy, I'm going to Google it myself, and I'm going to find out all I can find out on the pomegranate tree. How to grow one, how to feed it, how to take care of it, how to get the seed started properly. Oh, I kept seeing this advertisement on these cherry trees you can order. And they produce these giant cherries. They're guaranteed, if you order one and plant it, it will produce a ton of cherries the first summer. But they're like $30 a tree or more. And I said, I don't know if I want to turn loose of that kind of money to try, you know. Good today, cold again tomorrow, wind chill 7. It was 85 to here today, Tamara. It's 62 degrees right now. Northeast Arkansas is getting storms coming and with tornadoes next week. Well, like I said, it's going to be nice weather like this right on up till the 14th of March. And I'm usually planting my seeds in the yard by the second week in March. And we don't have any freezing temperatures through the 14th. So anybody planting a garden in this area now from seed should be safe. Unless some unexpected thing happens and all of a sudden we have a freeze for some reason. But they're not predicting one. I mean, I don't know what it's going to do like after the 14th. But usually, if it's nice through the 14th, it'll be nice the rest of the month. But now that one year we had snow on Easter Sunday morning in April, so that could happen this year. We could have another snowy day on Easter Sunday. Wouldn't that be something? It's okay, May is coming. Yeah, I know May is coming, but then June and July and August are our worst months in Texas for a garden. It gets so hot here. That's when the shade cloth has to go up. Yeah, your winter's pretty much over. Well, I've got a rosemary plant that is supposed to be perennial, and it looks like it's still alive, so it should start growing and looking good. I love to smell rosemary. I mean, you can just touch the plant and you can smell it. Oh no, Tamara, you may get snow Tuesday and Wednesday. Ooh. Wilson said way down here in San Antonio, it's almost like Los Angeles, California. Well, I've been wearing my shorts for several days already. Oh, hamburger soup is one of the best. I think it has the best taste. The ground beef, I brown mine before I add the liquid and the veggies. And it gives it the best flavor in that soup when you add vegetables and stuff. And I can eat that even if it's 105 degrees outside. I don't care. I was thinking about making a tuna casserole or either a potato soup. I don't know what I want to eat anymore, you know? I've got too many choices now. It snowed in May, my hummingbirds feeding in snow. Now that would be an odd sight to see hummingbirds feeding in the snow. And that reminds me, I got to get out there and clean out my hummingbird feeders and put in fresh nectar just in case that big hummingbird is still here. And he probably is because he's been here all winter. March snows are brutal. Well, I'll never forget the one Sunday morning my son called me. I was still in bed, hadn't looked outside. I was awake. I just was lazy and didn't want to get up. My son called me. He says, Mom, have you looked outside? I said, no, I'm still in bed. He said, well, do me a favor. Just look out your window and tell me what you see. I looked out the window and everything was covered in snow. Easter Sunday morning, and it was snow everywhere. I said, oh my God, it snowed. He said, yeah. He said, I thought I was hallucinating when I got up and saw it out there. I had to literally come outside and put my hands in it to realize I was not seeing things or hallucinating. Mine have been out all winter because I've had a hummingbird come into my feeder all winter long. I was out there doing something on the patio where the feeders were, and all of a sudden he zoomed by my head, and I said, that sounds like a hummingbird. They're not usually here this time of year. And he comes zooming back by again, and I sat there and I got quiet. And by God, he came to the feeder. That was that great big hummingbird I got in that video. He's been here all winter long. And they say if you see one, there's at least 7 more close by. Cornbread never lasts long enough to freeze in my house. Any leftovers warm and buttered and crumbled in a glass of cold milk. Yep, you got that right, Cindy. And I don't usually fix a whole great big cake of cornbread. You know, I'll make a cake of cornbread, but I'll use my little cast iron pan. So it's like an individual cornbread. But it's enough for several meals to eat cornbread with. But I never have cornbread to freeze. Unless I purposely make the Mexican cornbread muffins that I make. And then I'll make 2 big sheet pans of muffins, or muffin pans of muffins. And then I'll put them in baggies and freeze them. Oh, there's Too Tall Rob. He said it's still chilly at night. I'm about to head to bed. I got the critters fed. It's 62 degrees here right now, Too Tall. It was 85 today. You have a good night, Too Tall. I'm glad you dropped in. We're all cornbread piggies. Oh, I love good hot cornbread with melted butter in it. Oh, and sometimes I put a little bit of jelly in there. Cornbread's good when it's hot and fresh. I love it. Or like I say, even after it's cold, later you can eat it at another meal and just heat it up. It's just as good as it was the first time. 55 where Country Cutie is. Yeah, I love it with honey too. I haven't seen Dennis tonight. He must be busy. He might be doing something with his grandkids on Friday night. He may have all of them for the weekend. Who knows? I know, he had Brooklyn last night, and she fell asleep. So he may have all his grandkids by tonight. They may be keeping him pretty busy. And he didn't expect me to go live, so he didn't know about it. I'm sure he got notified. If he's even checked, he may not have even checked on his phone or whatever he watches on. Okay, Cindy, well, tell your 13-year-old grandson hello from Linda's channel, Lady in the Garden. Night, Cindy. Well, it's a shame, Edith, that your grandkids don't visit you. They don't know what they're missing when they don't go see their grandmother. My one and only grandchild, she doesn't get to come see me anymore, but she's working all the time. I mean, once in a while we can get together at my son's house if she can manage to get a day off the same time my son's going to have us over at his house, and I'll get to see her like that, but she's working all the time, she said. What do you mean something's wrong, Wilson? That Dennis is not here? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I don't know where he's at. I mean, I don't know. Let's see if I can check my email and see if I've got any email from him. No, I haven't had an email from him since the 25th. Yeah, he was supposed to go shopping um, with Brooklyn today. And he said the first thing she wants to do is watch Linda's live Thursday. I'm going to send him a message. I'm going to tell him people are asking about him. We'll see if he gets the email. He may not check his email to even know he's got it. Oh, and I meant to. There are so many of my YouTube channels that abandon their channels. Oh, that's a shame. Well, thank you, Country Cutie. Oh, excuse me. Delayed reaction from all that dirt I was stirring up out there today. Yeah, I need to go fishing. The wind had calmed down somewhat today. We'll see how it is the next couple of days. Maybe I can get to go fishing and make a fishing video. I might even catch a fish. You never know. I haven't been since last summer. But I tell you, if I go fishing on a windy day, it drives my allergies crazy. Because it stirs up everything I'm allergic to in the air that I'm breathing. And I'm sick usually by the time I get home. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what it's going to be like tomorrow, the next day, or maybe next week. I might get to go fishing one day. Got to get me some bait. I'd rather catch my own bait. Seem like I have better luck. They're doing controlled burns and it affects my breathing. I don't have any shad, Wilson. I usually take little bait, catch my own little fish to fish with, put them on my hook. And that's usually what I catch my great big bass and my great big catfish with. Although I've caught quite a few big catfish on chicken livers before. And there's Father Gatto. Hello. Worms and bubble gum. I've never tried bubble gum. They usually just eat my worms off the hook. Well, thank you, Edith. I'm glad I'm helping you in some way. I have caught many fish with that. Worms and bubble gum. How do you put the two together? I've never tried bubble gum. I fish with worms, but like I said, the fish usually just eat my worms off the hook. And there's Kathy Moore. Hello. Getting spring fever. Catfishing. Well, I caught a great big bass one time. Biggest bass I've ever caught. And he was some good eating too. I don't know how much he weighed, but he was a big thing. What does sharded mean? I have no idea. I can Google it. Oh no. Where did you get that from, Edith? Yeah, it means when you think you got a fart, but something else comes out. It's really gross. That happened to one of my mom's uncles one time. She said they dropped him off at the airport. He was going to get on the plane and he thought he had to fart, had a real good fart, and he let it go and he messed his pants up. They said that was so funny. I mean, but you know, you can't laugh at your uncle, but that was funny. It's atrocious. You asked Edith, you wanted to know what it meant. I've got a video of my raccoon on the porch. He farted. You could see the vapors in the cold winter. I don't know. I the first time I saw that name was when Edith said, "What does it mean?" Did somebody come in here and ask about it before that? Oh, Roger's Chambers, the real Roger C. Evidently, he is a troll. Be nice, Roger, or we'll put you in timeout. But, you know, that happens sometimes. My hand on the eject button. All right, well, we'll see. We will see. I think he just made himself look foolish, Edith, not you. Yep, we can get the troll zapper out. Take care of him. Drinking my strawberry milk. No, nobody thinks Edith is foolish. Roger's the one that's foolish. And there's Jay. Hello, Jay. How are you doing this evening? You're welcome, Edith. Well, good deal. Jay's great. I didn't sleep too good last night for some reason. I kept waking up. I woke up early this morning, got up just about daylight, fed the cats, went back to bed thinking I was going to go to sleep. Never did happen. Oh, yes, we had beautiful weather here today. It was 85 degrees, nice and sunshiny. It's been nice weather for days. I mean, it's been a little windy off and on, but the weather's been fantastic. Oh, no, Country Cutie, you haven't slept in 3 nights? I've been there and done that. I know exactly how you're feeling. I don't know. I don't know if I want to fix soup or if I want to fix a casserole or what I want to cook tomorrow. We know you didn't either, because I didn't know what it meant either till I looked it up on the internet. Why haven't you been sleeping, Country Cutie? You had grilled chicken salad tonight. That sounds good. Thanks. Wilson, no rice. I've been thinking about taking them 2 apples I got and make me some apple fritters. That's just as good as apple pie. Yeah, I have quite a few nights like that, Country Cutie. And then the nights that I do sleep, I don't want to ever get up the next morning. I just want to sleep all day. Edith says, I'm hoping for soup tomorrow. What is your favorite soup, Edith? That's what I was thinking about doing, is a tuna casserole. Tuna salad that I make. It's like a casserole. I love it. But then I got to thinking, I just bought some new potatoes because all mine sprouted and I had to plant them. So I bought me a new bag of potatoes a couple of days ago. So I've got potatoes. I can make me some potato soup. I don't know what I want to make yet. Edith likes barley soup. I don't think I've ever eaten barley soup. So I don't know if I'd like it or not. Since you had sepsis, your sleeping's never been normal. Oh, wow. Sorry to hear that. Make some homemade stew. I got to check, see what I got. I'm eating oyster stew. I love oyster stew. I love fried oysters and I love oyster stew. But I don't want raw oysters. I can't handle them. Oyster stew is good if you have the little tiny oysters in it, because they're cooked solid. And oh, they have the best taste that stew does. And the big fried oysters, oh my gosh, I could eat my weight in those. I have a couple of cans of chicken breasts. Any good ideas on what to do with it? Well, there's a lot of things you can do with canned chicken. You can make chicken salad. You can make chicken soup. You can make a chicken casserole. Chicken fajitas. You love oyster stew, but you don't like the oysters. So you like the taste of the soup part, but you don't want to eat the oysters. Well, a lot of people probably are like that. Really? Oysters not good for you? Unclean food, look in the Bible. I've never heard anything bad said about oysters. I just make it like tuna salad. Chicken pot pie. Yeah, you can make a chicken pot pie. That chicken pot pie I made was real good. It's almost time for you to make another one. I'm going to get me a sack of artists today. Are you an artist, Henry? Can make taco soup with chicken. Or the chicken enchilada soup or whatever they call it. That I made was so good, but I was allergic to all the milk that was put in it. But I ate it anyway, even though it made me sick afterwards. I put eggs and peas and onions and tuna and salad dressing or either mayo. I put a lot of stuff in my my tuna casserole or my tuna salad as I call it, with noodles and stuff in it. Oh, it's so good. I put celery. You have a bunch of kin folks that are archers. My ex hunted with a crossbow. You know, they're just as powerful as a gun. Yeah, chicken barbecue sandwiches. That sounds good. Chicken wraps. The beets you have are the size of baseballs. Wow. You got some pretty good sized beets, Wilson. Did you grow them yourself? With potato wedges. Yeah, barbecued chicken sandwich with potato wedges. Sounds real good. I've been wanting me some potato salad. I haven't fixed potato salad in a while, so I got to fix me some. Fix me some potato salad and something that goes with it. I just don't know what it would be yet. It's grilling out weather right now. I mean, I could grill something out on the grill, couldn't I? I could fix me some barbecued chicken legs out on the grill and fix me some potato salad. Well, one thing good, when I went to the doctor, my blood pressure was up just a tiny bit. But depending on what I eat, my blood pressure will go up a little bit. Not dangerously high, but just a tiny bit. But then, depending on what else I eat, it comes right back down. So, usually we don't think anything of that. Baked beans and coleslaw would go good. Yeah, that would. But I'm thinking of fixing me some barbecue chicken legs, some potato salad, and maybe baked beans or kidney beans that I've already got cooked that I got in the freezer. Because, you know, when I made that great big old pot of kidney beans and rice, I put a container of them up in the freezer. Because there was no way I could eat all those beans. Yeah, I got that 10-pound bag of potatoes, too, that was real cheap. I got it at Walmart. I looked at the price down there, and I said, that can't be right. That looks like a 10-pound bag. And I looked over there, and I moved the bag around, and it said 10 pounds, and I looked down on the sign, and it was 10 pounds of potatoes for that $2.99 or whatever it was. So I got a bag of 10 pounds of potatoes. That sounds awesome, minus the potato. You don't like potato salad, Roger? I love potato salad the way I make it. Well, there's 2 or 3 different ways I make potato salad. Just depends on how the notion strikes me, which way I want it at the time. You don't like mayonnaise, so you don't eat potato salad? Oh, wow, Patty C., that sounds real good. Her son brought her a catfish plate for dinner after work tonight. I bet that was good. Make some French fries. Yeah, you can make French fries with a barbecue chicken sandwich. You don't like mayo. Oh my goodness, you couldn't lift 10 pounds, Edith? I'm sorry. Has to be loaded with mustard. Well, I put mustard in my potato salad. I put boiled eggs, mustard, peas, not peas. I'm thinking of my salad. My tuna salad. I like onions in mine. And when my son lived at home, I'd have to make a small portion with onions in it and the part of it without onions because he wouldn't eat it if it had onions in it. Yeah, I put pickle relish in my potato salad, mayo, and I love boiled eggs chopped up in it. I love chopped onions in it. I like it pretty simple, but I love the few ingredients that I put in mine. You're going to plant the bell peppers in 5-gallon buckets? Well, that sounds like a plan. I got to get mine sprouted. I'll probably do like I did last year. I'll just buy a pepper, take all the seeds out of it, throw it in one little pot, covered up, keep it watered till I get 100 plants come out of it. That's the best way to do. You don't even have to buy the seed. You buy peppers to eat, or you buy tomatoes to eat. Take a slice of your tomato, put it in a pot, and grow you some tomato plants. You'll have so many tomato plants, you're not going to know what to do with them all. And I'll do that again this year. I've got 2 bell peppers in my vegetable bin right now that I'm going to get the seeds out of, and I'm going to put them out in the pot. Cutie, you have to have lots of boiled eggs. Lots of boiled eggs for what? Lots of mustard, pickles, and mayo, no eggs. Yeah, I always put at least 1 or 2 boiled eggs in my potato salad. Yeah, the yellow bell peppers and the red ones for me. I'm going to be planting some more of those seeds too, because I save all my seed from what I grow. I save pepper seeds. I save every seed that I can possibly save out of my garden that grows and produces. I save it so I can plant them the next year. It saves you a lot of money, Patty. And at least if you know you've already grown it in your yard, you can grow it again. Sometimes certain veggies don't grow good in your area. But that way you know those seeds will grow because you've already grown them. Around here we call it tater salad. Well, where I'm from, they call it tater salad too. I just like to be a little bit more prim and proper when I say it, and I say potato salad. But I've got little tiny sprouts of my lettuce seed coming up. I planted salad bowl lettuce. It's not going to head up like a head of lettuce. you harvest the leaves off of it. And I didn't plant any romaine lettuce this year because every time I planted it before, it turned, and it's supposed to be a little reddish looking or reddish brownish looking. That's the way some of the romaine lettuce does, but it's a little bitter for me. I don't like it bitter. So I didn't plant any more of that kind. If I plant any more romaine lettuce, it's going to be the green romaine lettuce, not the reddish or darker kind. Yeah, it's all good, Patty C. It don't matter if you call it tater salad or potato salad. It's all good. It depends on what planting zone you're in. And you're in San Antonio, you should be able to plant anything from seed in your yard right now. I am, because according to the weather forecast, we're not going to get any more freezing temperatures straight through to March 14th. I don't know what's going to happen after that, but I usually plant my garden the second week in March. So if we're not going to get any freezes, you know, you should be safe planting right now. The best way to do is, if you plant now from seed in the yard, don't put all your seed out. Only put some of your seed out. Save some of it. That way, if your plants come up and it freezes and kills them, you got more seeds to replant with. But I don't think it's going to freeze anymore. Bugs ate your lettuce last year? Yeah, that dark colored romaine lettuce just doesn't grow good here. I mean, it grew like crazy, but it was bitter. It was real bitter. So I'm only going to stick with the green lettuces now. And I don't think I've planted the salad bowl lettuce before, but I'm trying it this time. Did they eat your tiny plants, or what was it? You know, sometimes your little baby plants, when you first put them out, the bugs will eat them. I mean, if they can get to them. So I usually sprinkle 7 dust or spray with pepper spray or put something out that'll deter the bugs. You can even turn like a clear plastic cup over the top of a little plant to keep the bugs from getting in on it. Keep the slugs off of it. Because usually when they get up any size, the bugs pretty much leave it alone. Yeah, while they were real delicate, they were real tiny baby plants. So try covering it with something, but you got to have like an air hole at the top. I don't know what you could cover it with, but sometimes, you know, how I take I've got one over here, I'll show you. Oh, if it's an individual plant, like this is perfect to put over a plant, a young plant. It's just a 2-liter Coca-Cola bottle with the bottom cut off of it. And I take the lid off and I put that right down in my pot over my plant. Make sure there's no bugs inside. There's no slugs or nothing in there. And then just give it a couple of twists so the edge of the plastic goes down in the dirt a little bit. And that'll keep any bugs off of that baby plant until it gets up big enough that it'll survive on its own. And then you can just take the top off. And it'll also keep it from freezing if you get a freeze at night. I mean, you wouldn't think that would work, but it does. I mean, it may not work if it freezes for 3 or 4 nights straight and it never thaws out, but if you have a freeze for one night, you can cover it with this and it'll keep it from freezing. It's like a mini greenhouse with a vent at the top. I save all my, and sometimes I'll buy a 2-liter Coke even if I want one or not. And I drink it and I save my container, my jar, because I want to use it as a mini greenhouse. And this is how I start all my rose bushes. I'll cut my cutting, I'll put it in a small pot, and I'll put this over the top of it. It keeps a little bit of humidity into the pot, and it keeps it a little bit warmer in there, and it helps your rose bush root a lot better. And I got to start some too, because I've been wanting to start at least 1 or 2, and I haven't done that yet. But yeah, that's like putting a mini greenhouse over your plant. Just use a 2-liter Coke bottle. Or I think this one might have been a 3-liter. It was the bigger one. It was the bigger size bottle. I think the 2-liter is just a little bit smaller than this one. I got the biggest one that they had. And those are the ones that I saved to make my greenhouses with. But they work great, and it's a free greenhouse. It's a free bug protection from your little baby plant. And I've done it sometimes where I'd take a pot, I'd fix the soil, and I'd put seeds in it, put this right over the top, and it keeps your soil damp. It keeps a good climate inside while your seeds germinate and come up, and it protects your seedlings from the bugs, so the bugs don't get in there and eat your little seedlings before they have time to grow. So there's a lot of good uses for these, these big soda bottles. But you want the clear ones, I wouldn't use the green ones. I do that and put coconut oil on the top to keep ants and bugs from going in. I've never had problems with ants going in mine, because there's usually nothing there to attract the ants. I'll wash out the bottles before I use them, so there's no sugar or anything like that that would attract ants. Yeah, you always want to wash out your bottles before you use them. And that way you don't attract any ants or bugs. I'll tell you what I found that's good. I mean, I use the moat above the hummingbird feeder. You fill it with water. The ants will not come down and go, because they don't go through water. They'll get to that water and they go back the opposite way, so they never go to the feeder. And also to keep bees away from your feeder, where the hummingbirds stick their little beaks down in the little flower. If you'll rub mint oil around your feeder and around where the little hummingbirds stick their beaks in with mint oil, that keeps the bees and the ants away too. We have a lot of ants here too. And I used to have a real bad problem with them getting on my hummingbird feeders until I started using the ant moats. I made mine at first out of the little drink bottles, where I'd cut the top off of the smaller, 12 and 16 ounce bottles. I'd cut the top off. I'd put the cap on it, and I'd run a hanger up through it to where the water couldn't leak out. I'd fill it up with water and put it on above the feeder. And the ants will not go through the water to get to the feeder. So they get to the water, they'll turn and go the opposite way. Well, bees and hornets, if you put the mint oil on your feeder, around the little flowers, things where they feed, it'll keep the bees and the hornets away. They will not go near that hummingbird feeder with mint on it. Mint oil, they don't like it. It doesn't bother the hummingbirds. They don't mind it at all. But the bees and the hornets don't like it at all. So try that. I think it'll take care of the bees and the hornets for you. And if you'll make you a moat, I've got a video on how I made the moat out of a little soda bottle. It was last year or somewhere way back there. You can look it up, though, and find it and see how I made the moat. I bought a couple to go on these out here now. But the ones you make that I made in that video, they work just as well. Many times you won't get the vegetables you think you will if you plant seeds from veggies you buy at the grocery store. Many hybrid veggies and you won't get a replica of what you bought. Well, I don't know. The bell pepper I saved, the seeds I saved from my bell peppers, and I planted them in my yard. I had some of the biggest bell peppers. Green bell peppers. They were huge on that tall bell pepper plant I had right out here. I mean, it was towering over my head. The biggest bell pepper plant I've ever grown in my life. And when that husband and wife team came over here that helped me cut some trees down, or tree limbs, he saw those bell peppers in the top of that bush. He said, those are the biggest bell peppers I've ever seen in anybody's garden that grew anything anywhere around here. He said, I've never seen them grow that big. But any of the tomato seed I've got from sliced tomatoes that I bought at the store, bell peppers, hot peppers, jalapenos, any of them, they grew fantastic, just as well as the ones I'd have to go buy. I mean, how do you think I had all these numerous bell peppers and hot peppers and all these other peppers in my yard last summer? Yeah, those hornets hurt when they sting you. I've been stung by one. Okay, Country Cutie, we enjoyed having you. You have a blessed night. Stay safe, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. And we'll see you on the next one. Stay safe tomorrow. Have a good day. Oh my goodness, we've been on here for over 2 hours. I didn't realize I lose track of time when I get to talking about the garden and start talking with everybody and answering questions and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but if you'll put this over your plant or where you planted your seeds, make sure there's no bugs inside on the ground or anything. And just put that over where you planted your seeds or where your little seedling is. And kind of work it down. Just kind of move it back and forth and kind of get it down in the dirt a little bit. So nothing can go under it. It'll keep your plant safe, I promise you. It's just like a mini greenhouse for them. Well, I think I'm going to call it a night, too. We've been on here for over 2 hours. Whew, I know I'm tired. I know everybody else is probably tired. It's getting late. It's even later for a lot of you, an hour later at least. So, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming to my live tonight. I love having you. I love chatting with you. So, we're going to call it a night. Y'all have a blessed night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. We'll see you on my next one. Love y'all. Bye now.